In our modern world, we cannot escape two things. One is a computer, and second, a network. All of us are familiar with computer, whether it is a tablet, whether it is a laptop, whether it is a good computer, or whether it is a mobile phone. Mobile phones like this are more powerful than some of the classical computers that we have known. More computing power, more speed, more ability to connect, more ability to display. Now, what is a network? Network is something where one or more of these computers are connected with each other or connected as a system with some other system. Without knowing, we keep on using networks. When we are connecting to a Wi-Fi, we are connecting to a network. When we are doing a print command, we are doing a network activity. When we are streaming a video on the TV, we are doing a network activity. And of course, whenever we are connecting to the internet, we are again coming back to a network. How to make these more secure? Because computers are getting connected, they are sharing data and information with each other. Many times, there are people who can snoop into these traffic that is going on between computers and the networks and could create unauthorized usage, stealing of data and information from somebody else or from some other network. In the post-pandemic world, this problem got accentuated, and people, as they worked from home, they needed to access. Now, when I or you access the network, what happens is that our computer in the service provider's computer is identified by something which is called an IP or Internet Protocol. Through this, who is connecting to that network is known. Traffic that is going between these computers could be identified to a particular device or a particular network. Because you will have to connect to a network and your identity is known, how we can find a way that data and information that is identified with me is not known to the people except to the end users. So there came the idea of a private network. Now let us say there is a big bank or there is a big airline or there is a big retail chain. A network is created by using what is called a private set of connectivity. If it is within the same building, it is connected through wires or through network cables. So if it is outside, then lease lines are taken and point-to-point connectivity through networking architecture is done. This is easy for the law enforcement agencies because it is so identifiable. If somebody indulging in an activity which is not permitted, then they can always go and catch hold of the person who is originating that traffic, because in the modern day world, computers rule almost everything that we see, whether it is a vaccination system for COVID, whether it is a travel booking system, whether it is ordering food online or civic amenities like cleaning of the things, like water control, everything goes through networks. Something came which is called a virtual private network. If you are not using what I just now described, the network that has been created using either the same premises or leased lines, you are going through an internet protocol. The virtual private network is essentially routing this traffic through another computer. Whenever somebody searches origination of this traffic, it will point to that intermediate, and in between there are protocols like tunneling, encrypting, masking, and other side detunneling happens and demasking happens or unmasking happens, decrypting happens, so that nobody in the other end or in between could know what is the real origin of this data. This is essentially what is called virtual private network. As computers and networks are impacting our lives, the headache of the law enforcement agencies and the authorities also go up. In the internet protocol, it is easy for them to track who is indulging in illegal activities or anti-national activities or seditious activities or terrorism or drug peddling or trafficking or immoral activities. But with virtual private network can camouflage whatever data you are originating and point to some intermediate server which is conducting your traffic. Many of the policymakers, many of the regulators and many of the security experts are now clamoring that whether virtual private networks are good or virtual private networks are bad. The essential argument is in something which is called a dark web. As all of us know, internet is a web of computers which are connected with each other. When you do a search, it searches all those computers which are in the web or in the internet network, and it throws out the result wherever that knowledge, information or data is residing based on the access permissions that you have. In case of a dark web, what happens is that specialized programs are used, and many times to avoid the local requirements of law, the intermediate servers which are serving the virtual private networks are located outside the geographical or legal limits of a country. This is what is creating the problem. Because virtual private network uses intermediate servers or intermediate computers whose IP machine is displayed, it becomes very difficult for the law enforcing authorities to pinpoint where exactly the traffic is originated. It is like a route in which regular travelers travel while some of the rogue traffic may be going on. My research or my knowledge shows that decrypting some of the encrypted things that goes through a virtual private network, the technology is already available, although it is not very wide or it is not very inexpensive. And it should be so, because if encryption and decryption or masking or unmasking becomes a very common technology, then that part of the security will become meaningless. Banning of virtual private network probably is not a solution. When organizations are becoming very widespread, the value chain is delivered through many hops across devices and across networks which must collaborate with each other. Virtual private networks or networks which are secure from intrusion are important and critical so that trust in the system builds. We have means and technology to find out if there is any rogue traffic. Apprehension regarding virtual private network harboring a dark web or illegal activities is probably not founded on the basis of either technology or the truth. Virtual private network technology is still evolving. Connection to the dark web must be prevented, but the good and bad must coexist. The new world demands that we must make judicious use of it by discovering technology rather than preventing it. Thank you very much.